Hi, everybody. I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi. Thank you for joining me this Tuesday, 2 p.m. Sorry, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern, August 1st. Our first show of August 2023 is here, halfway past halfway done. And as usual, we come every Tuesday to take your questions, general educational questions about U.S. immigration, live on YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Unfortunately, our stream is not. We use a thing called StreamYard, and the quality goes down on like LinkedIn and YouTube a lot of the time. But we're also here on live on TikTok and Instagram. We get a lot of questions on TikTok. Unfortunately, a lot of it are repeat questions. Just a heads up, please don't ask the same question over and over again. It makes it really hard to keep track of what's going on. But keep the questions coming. Thank you for everyone who's here. We're here to take your immigration questions. Afsar says, "I have a question." Just say your question. That's how it works. Again, this is for general education only. Also, side note, if you're interested in a marriage green card case, a fiance visa, I have a guide called John's Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide. You can download it for free, no extra charge, at www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com. That's marriageimmigrationlaw.com, and really learn about that. And as always, we get our first question about how long things take. If you're a regular listener, you know this question drives you crazy because it's different for every case. I'll just say it could be 1 year, it could be 5 years. Let's just put it at that. If you get a green card, you're going to notice. Oh, well, the question is, how does it take to get your parents a green card? If you're a green card holder, you can't. That's 0 years because the green card holder cannot apply for their parent. It has to be a U.S. citizen. Another question, I-130 approved. Marriage case, what's next? I-45 still pending. What's next is your I-45 has to have a decision. Rovina asks, how long does N600 take? Check out uscis.gov for processing times. You have a question on Instagram. Imran says, sir, my USCIS account says your next steps, reviewing your case. What does it mean by case being processed actively? It means exactly what it says right there. It says they're actively processing your case. No more, no less. Midra says, can a work permit application be denied? Anything can be denied. It's just part of it. We have a question. Nuruddin on 22 says, hi, do you need to submit married photos when filing for I-130? You don't have to, but it's not a bad idea to do that. Beverly asks, how can I get in touch with your office? Well, send us the email. My email is info@jqqlaw.com. That's info@jqqlaw.com. And briefly describe the immigration issue that you have so we know what the case is about, because we don't handle every type of case. If you have an asylum case, we can't help you. We don't do asylum. So I want to know what it is, then we can schedule time, because our office, we do charge for a consultation. It's not free. So I don't want to charge for something we can help you with. So just briefly explain what it is. info@jklaw.com, and then that'll be that, and we'll take it from there. Beverly, thank you for your question, and hopefully get a chance to talk. Afsar says, I'm a U.S. citizen, and my mom is planning to come to U.S. on a tourist visa. Is there any 90-day wait period before applying for a green card? There's no 90-day wait period, but you're not allowed. It's a fraud, misrepresentation, to misuse a tourist visa with the intent to enter the United States to file for a green card. So tourist visa, you're telling the America that you're going to come temporarily, and then once you come in, your really intent is not to do that. That can be considered fraud. In practice, they almost never say anything. So this whole 90-day rule is nonsense. That really applies to embassies for something differently, but a lot of lawyers will see videos saying that. I'm not allowed to say, hey, do this. In practice, they usually just let it go. But usually it's not 100%. And so I'm not allowed to advise you to do something so risky, and I can't advise you to do misrepresentation or fraud. So Afsar, that especially coming in public and putting all this stuff out there, not the best idea, frankly, but this is why you need to have private consultations. But this is general education only. People do what they wish, and it's up to them if they want to ask questions like that. But that's the answer I can give you. Esteban says, how do I submit a new 45 case? It's not how long after divorce, and I think you mean like a new marriage case. There's a lot to make sure the first one was proper, because they could get you for fraud for the first one. Or there's some states that say after divorce, you got to wait so long before you get remarried. So there's a lot going on there. You need to have a real analysis, not the best place to go into this kind of analysis here. Sandra says, how to change name for U.S. citizens. Well, there's two things. One is the application when you become a citizen has an option to change your name. However, most of the time it's not going to work because the government isn't doing the proper process for that to be possible. So that's not going to happen. So if you want to change your name, you go to a local courthouse. If you go to their website, they usually have an option how to do name change. Do it yourself and just follow the guidance there, your local courthouse, and get it done. Midder says, what happens if my work permit application is denied? What's next? I don't, depends. Why was it denied? Was it a mistake of the government? Your mistake? You may be able to refile, you may not. What's next, it depends on why it was denied and what you did or what you didn't do that was wrong. How long does USCIS take to respond to submitted RFE response? Once you submit an RFE response, you answer the government when they want more documents. How long does it take? There's no fixed timeline. It takes however long they want it to take. Can I bring my mom to America if I'm an American citizen? How long will it take? Well, you could apply. I need to know more information about your background, whether it's going to be possible. But for consular processing, it could take a year and a half, 3 years, 4 years. Depends on the country and the situation. How long does it take for citizenship process nowadays? Depends on your local office. It could be 2 months. It could be 2 years. And Arvad asks, do you love Afghan Christians? I don't know what kind of question that is. So it's not related to U.S. immigration. So we're going to mute your account right there. Okay, let's go back. We got a bunch of questions we got to. When you mute someone's account on TikTok, it jumps to the last question, not the most recent question asked. So it kind of throws me off, unfortunately. Not the best way to run that system, but it is what it is. Okay, Island Boy, we already answered that. Singh says, National Benefit Center, I-130, I-485. How much time married? However long it takes. Shiva says, you are the best. Thank you so much. So we're getting too many questions about timelines. So I'm just going to skip you. And if you ask a lot of questions about timelines, unfortunately, I'm just going to have to mute your account so you don't keep asking. Deco says, my I-130 name doesn't match. My I-130 names don't match my names on the passport and visa already issued. What to do now? Well, the visa is going to be issued based on what the name of the passport is. So that's, I got to see how it's different and what the issues are. So I can't say exactly. But when you're going to get your visa through the embassy, like a green card, whatever the embassy does, they match it with your passport. So you want that to all be consistent. Beverly says, I filed for my unmarried kids from 2015. Do you think something went wrong? It depends on if you're a green card holder or you're a citizen, if your children got married or not, how old your children are, under 21, over 21. All these have factors that I don't know. And, I don't know. So I would need to know a lot more information. Divine says, submitted the I-130 marriage-based January 2023. Would you take over on ongoing cases to speed up processing times? I can't necessarily speed up processing times. Our office usually does not accept cases when somebody already started it. I need to take a look over to see if I was willing to do that. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to speed it up. It just means like you have a lawyer watching out, but maybe it's just going to take the same time that it's going to take. G-Con says, my USCIS account says things are taking longer than expected. Yeah, unfortunately, they just backed up and they do that. Hope says, is it safe to apply for a driver's license if the person is ordered to be removed, no criminal record? I can't give you that guarantee. You never know what you're doing with the government. Typically, it's not a problem, but you never know. Elena says, can you change interview location? My mom got I-130 approved. It depends. The interview location is based on the residence of the person. So unless there's an emergency situation, you typically can't, but it's not set in stone. Sadola says, hi, John. I sent so much evidence for my I-130, yet they sent in requests for additional evidence or bona fides of marriage. Is that a bad thing, the RFE? Not necessarily, but I typically don't get these. But I don't know. I don't know your file, so I can't really say. Trent says, parent came on a tourist visa. How long does it take for them to get a green card on LPR? They can't, because your green card holder can't apply for parents. Is it bad if we file Form I-751 fee waiver? No, but just got to make sure fee waiver is approved, because if it's not and your green card expires, then it creates problems. So you want to make sure the timing on that is good. My U.S. citizen application is pending more than 2 years. What should I do? Well, it depends on the case. You can try suing them, but it really depends on the case and the facts as to why. Okay, so I'm trying to go over the repeat questions. We're going to stop TikTok for a second because people are doing repeat questions a lot. And I'm going to go over to YouTube. Sozi says, I'm married to a U.S. citizen for 2 years, living abroad. She doesn't have domicile, but I saw that if we travel on the same day, it's helpful. How do we prove that I will travel with my wife? You get tickets and stuff like that. So that situation is going to be complex. Depends on what country you're from. They're more lenient at certain embassies than others. But if they, come ahead of time, you get a lease agreement in the U.S. for a place to live, and you have tickets, and they'll accept that many times. But it just depends on the case you're dealing with. Deco says, thanks you so much. You're welcome. Why says parent IR5 was expedited at NBC. In an interview, visa officer found a discrepancy in documents and asked fixed. After submitting correct documents, can I request expedited embassy? I mean, I guess you could. You could do an expedite whatever you want, but at that point, it's really on them to just hurry up. So there's no expediting. It's the last step. They just need to give the okay if the documents are okay. How long does it take for SAFE to review a business case? I don't know. What is the age out rule for college students for green card? There's no age out rule for college students. If you're 21, you age out of your parents' case. There's a thing called Child Status Protection Act that may save you. Lucky Cohen says, "Do you represent VAWA cases?" Yeah, we do actually. One of my associates handles those cases. We're submitting one actually this week. So email the office for a consultation. Is it normal not to get prima facie after 10 months? Nobody uses the term prima facie. And so I'm not sure exactly what kind of case you're talking about, pre-niece, but it depends on the case. So there's no normal in immigration. What happens after medical examination? If you're clear, they give you the results. They give to the USCIS, and if there's problems, you might have issues that pop up. Uh, how can we acquire your services if you're not in your state? Does it matter in Texas here? No, we handle cases all across the world because all the stuff we do is done by internet and mail and uploading stuff. So we just set up a video consultation to see what's going on in your case, Habibis, and then if it's the kind of case we handle, because I'm like if you have a silent case, we're not gonna handle that. But if it's the kind of case we handle, there sometimes is an interview requirement. Most cases that we do don't require the attorney to come to the interview appointment. But if there is like a thing, I'm like, okay, you either hire us and we'll help find a lawyer that could do the interview later on, or you just go in there. But it really is, it really depends on what the situation is. But usually we have clients from all over the country. It's not a big deal. Blah, blah, blah. Da, 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 da. Maybe a question: what are the requirements for employment sponsorship visa? This is such a wide thing that it's not really just too general, I think, to answer here. So we have a lot of videos on this stuff on the internet and YouTube. Check that out. Hi, Bess. Yeah, just email me to start, and we'll take from there. How long have you had to wait once your U.S. citizenship was denied? I was declined once for citizenship. Well, that depends on why you were denied for citizenship. It was because you have criminal records. Well, then you're out of luck, like serious criminal records. But if it's because you travel too much outside the country, outside for more than a year, you might have to wait like 4 or 5 years after that to file. So, you gotta these questions is like only giving me partial information. I can't give a full answer to this kind of stuff. My grandma lost her green card in Jamaica. How do we get her back in the United States? She needs to file this special form I-131A for essentially as a boarding false, like some evidence that shows she's a green card holder. So go in and type that into the internet, and it'll come up. Hi, I received a request for a medical exam. Does it mean they waive the interview? Most of the time, that means waive it. I've had it where they still do the interview, but almost all the time, that means they waive it. Green Light says, can A2 visa holder adjust status? It's possible, but they have to request a waiver and exemption from the diplomatic community that they have. So it gets a little complicated. Not too complicated, really. How long does immigration take to reply for divorce waiver of joint filing requirement petition? There's no time. Like it could be 1 year, 6 months, it could be 1 year, it could be 3 years. It's all over the place. I-130, USCIS website says I can transfer I-130 data to I-360 VAWA. How do I do that? In the case of death of spouse, it automatically happens if you're I-130 pending. For a VAWA case, I'm not exactly sure. I haven't done it myself. You have to consult with our office. My associate handles those. He would know. Elodie says, my petition was approved I-130. Can I apply for a tourist visa in Brazil? Yeah, you can apply. Just make sure you mention you have a petition approved, and it's up to the consular officer if they want to approve it or not. Pretty asked about work permits soon. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen when they're going to do that. Kanyu says, can a C1D visa get marriage with US citizens that are US legally? You can get married. The problem is for adjustment of status, it might be prevented when you have a C or D visa. Is it a lot of repeat questions right here? So TikTok's horrible because people ask the same question. It's very hard to see what's going on. I already answered half these questions, but they keep going. Okay, let's just fast forward and see. Okay, I'm just going to start muting people. It's hard to keep track. You're welcome, Hope. Okay, global. Unfortunately, I have to let you go. We asked that question 50 times. Or answered it. Okay, Mohammed says, I'm a U.S. green card holder. Will it be negatively impact if I apply for Canada legally? No, not necessarily. If you live outside of Canada, it will, but then it's going to be problematic because you have to live in Canada to keep the green card there. So you kind of eventually have to make a decision where you're going to be living. Is it difficult to get your citizenship nowadays? Heard it was easier years ago. It depends on your background. It's easy for people who have easy cases, and those that have problems still gonna have problems. Thomas Link says I-130 says active your case. You just gotta wait. All this stuff about what does that mean? It means you have to wait. That's all it means. My husband got a 221G. He's in Germany. It's been 3 months, no updates. Yeah, unfortunately, it's stalled. You might have to sue him. What if I received an error on my receipt notice? It was corrected. Can I still send in docs? Send in docs only if they ask for it. I-130 was denied. What can you do? Well, I don't know. It depends on why it was denied. Processing times for I-130, just check out USCIS.gov. Does your office help with B2? I want to bring my grandmother, was quoted 8,000. Yeah, we do. We don't charge anywhere near that. But yeah, we do handle B2s. Email us and we could have a consultation about it. Maybe we could help you, tell you what you need to do on your own, and just charge a consultation fee, which will be, let's see, like 10% of that or something, or less than 10, like 5% of that. My husband, if I'm doing my math right, sorry, don't quote me on that. My husband got his, okay, answer that. Does IR have anything to do with the DMV? Can I issue a DL when you're doing your ID card? DAE messes up on stuff. What do you think retro October VB visible? I don't have an opinion on visible. Whatever happens, we just deal with it. User 22 says, I got citizenship after 7 years married. Then I got divorced. How soon can I file for new spouse? You could file immediately, but because it's been more than 5 years since you got your green card and you're a citizen already. However, like, you really want to make sure your previous case is strong so they don't come back and later create problems for you. Are you guaranteed EAD when you file for adjustment status? No, almost everyone gets it, but you're not guaranteed. How long does it take to get travel documents? It's up to the government. Is it beneficial to get a lawyer to apply for citizenship or apply alone? That's up to you. I mean, it's better to have a lawyer. People mess up really. I just had my friend's brother mess up on his case. It was obvious case was going to get denied because he had too many absences abroad. He never bothered even asking me about it. He got denied. He's like, "Oh, what happened?" I'm like, "Yeah, you should have just told me. I told you not to file until another 6 months until your absences are done." So at least with a good immigration lawyer to see if there's problems, because we usually identify like 90% of the problems in the consultation if they exist. So do that. Thank you, sir. I'm in the U.S. right now. Canada invitation, some application. Yeah, well, it's a big decision to make. Angel says my I-140-85 is denied. The I-130 was rejected. Then I refile. Should I refile a new I-45? If your I-45 is denied, you got to do a whole new one. How long is the wait to case submit visa center? Depends on how long they want to take. How does it take for K1 fiance and your fiance to come here? It takes a long time. It'll take at least 2 years, 3 years. Cage says how long the wait? It could be 1 to 3 years easily, at least. If you're from Pakistan, even longer. How's the okay? We got another person. We got to mute. Ask the same question a million times. I submit ISM-51. When do I receive 48-month extension paper? Probably within a couple weeks of filing. Let's take some questions on YouTube. So this, how much does it cost to file for my spouse visa? Schedule a consultation. We'll look over the facts of your case and take from there. Email the office, schedule a formal paid consultation, and we can take from there. Sozi. On Instagram, it's Mike says, what happens after we sue the government for not responding from our NBC after NBC approved case and not scheduled for interview? How long? What happens? You got to negotiate with the government, see what happens. Rachel says, which FOIA documents do you need to check if I'm still bound to the immigrant I sponsored years ago? I don't know. What are you trying to do? Why would you want a FOIA in the first place? I'm not sure what your goal is there, Rachel. How long does it take you to work permit apply for U visa? $8 years. I think even 150 days. 1,500 is too much. So I don't know. Does consultation fee go towards our case? It depends on how quickly you pay into complete fees. So usually we say if you pay all the fees within 2 weeks, yes. If not, then no. Respect, sir, for your time and dedication. You're welcome, Mohammed. I appreciate that. Can I apply for adjustment of status? My prior date is not current. It depends on if your date of filing prior date is current. Why is my silent case pending since 2016? This government's backed up. They suck. Really, it's really suck. LinkedIn user says, likelihood of a new bill Congress is putting in for children not maxing out. There's no likelihood of anything passing through Congress that benefits immigrants. Very low likelihood. I've been a permanent resident for 2 years now. Can my husband apply through me, or do I need to be a citizen? Your husband could apply for you just as soon as you became a green card holder. Can I expedite a VAWA? I applied to a 21 child. I think there's some limits on VAWA, but I'm not sure. I might still see handles those. Angel says, Angel, I can't give that specific illegal guidance. I'm not sure what's happening in the case. 61 years, do I need citizenship tests? It doesn't go right necessarily how you are. It's one factor. It depends on how long you've been a green card holder. How long will it take? Okay, I'm going to mute that question. We got that already answered. That I don't have an answer. Husband cheated and moved. Can I stop his citizenship? He has domestic violence case. I mean, if he's already a green card holder, it's up to the government. I don't know. I don't get involved in those kind of cases. Koga says, I need a cover letter from I-75. You always should use a cover letter. Do you take cases in Arizona? Yes. Take cases from across the world. Doesn't matter for us. I entered on F1 student visa, but did not enroll in school. Now I'm married to a U.S. citizen, eligible for yes. Well, they may accuse you of fraud if you just got the student visa with no intention to enroll in school. So you shouldn't have done that. You should have at least attended a month before you dropped out. So you may be able to file, but they could always say, hey, you did fraud on that student visa. Then you got to get a waiver. Hi, does it have anything to, okay, your question where I answered that was badly worded. You got to reword your questions better. Let me see other questions anywhere else. Okay, Carla, received letters saying they'll use my previous biometrics. Stop reciting 5 was 8 months. Yeah, that's normal. I had my asylum interview on October 2022. No decision. What should I do? Contact them. Contact Congressperson for help. Maybe sue them. Imra says, "Hi, sir. This is Imra from Pakistan. How does TAC IA-24 for sibling? How does TAC? I'm not sure what your question is, Imra. We got to reword it in the better way so I can understand it." User 02 says, "Where are you located?" I'm in Los Angeles, but our location does not matter. We do all our meetings through Vimeo, through Zoom, all video. Marriage-based EAD, how long should it take to get work permit? 1 month, 10 months, longer. In this case, if I go ahead with invitation or can't, Mom, that's getting too much to use individual guidance. Got to schedule a consultation. Oh, it says, what documents do I need for my new wife to fill her? That's a whole thing. It's not something I can just say here. And my green card holder, can I apply for my husband who was denied asylum or granted withholding? There's going to be a situation where he's out of status. As a green card holder, you have to be in status. So I got to see if there's an exception, but just see how long it takes for you to get citizenship. That'll fix stuff much better. Nato says, how long does it take you to take a decision? There's no timelines. I passed my interview, but I'm waiting for a result almost 1 year, but still application is pending. Well, I guess you didn't pass your interview. It's still pending, sir. How much does it take to apply for a green card through marriage? I'm not sure how much it costs, so that varies. It depends on a lot of factors. Okay, a lot of repeat questions. Sir, can you adjust status, immigration court through marriage or employment? Maybe. It depends on if you're married to a U.S. citizen or not, or what's going on. So it gets a little complicated. Mimi says, I'm a green card holder. I answered that question, and so I have to mute you, unfortunately. Mina says, how much time for sibling U.S. visas there in Afghanistan? It takes forever. It's really 15, 20 years for a green card. Besides marriage, any solution for overstayers? I mean, the whole immigration system is open to you, and it depends on what the situation is, what waivers you get, all this kind of stuff. So it's too open-ended a question to answer here. Sarah says, I want to file a green card for my mom. What documents do I need? I mean, Sarah, that's too big a question to answer here. Rachel says, how to find out if green card holder obtained 40 quarters of work, which could end sponsorship. There's no way to find out. That's why these regulations about the 40 quarters are so stupid and unrealistic on the way they designed the sponsorship requirements for the I-64. It's almost never enforced, so it's not typically something to worry about. The bigger thing is if they're a U.S. citizen, that's the way to find out. And the only way to find out is we ask them and whether they tell you and you know. But there's no real other way to look it up. When is the backlog going to reduce? No one knows that question. Answer that question. What if you married a citizen, and when you got married, got citizenship, but he was still married to another country? Well, that's marriage fraud. That's going to be an issue. You're never properly married, so everything gets rescinded. A bad situation. Sibling cases take 15, 20 years. How long should we wait for asylum results? There's no timeline. There's no timeline. Can I still get remarried while I'm waiting for my green card, 10-year green card? I don't know. I can't. That's too an individual amount of guidance. I don't know. Let's see what's going on with Instagram. Why is Instagram being so crappy? Oh, sorry, video is out, everybody. Mala says, if I file for my son's I-130 as green card and I got citizenship, what do I do? You don't need to do anything. You will need to say that you don't want to change the case to an F1, but you can do that later. They probably don't know you're citizens yet. Roughly, how long is the NBC process for I-130 interview? It depends on what kind of case you have, but it's different. So we don't go into timelines. A lot of timeline questions I'm skipping over. Can I travel to Florida with DACA? Oh, DACA, I mean, who knows what's going on in Florida? You could travel domestically, but I can't guarantee your safety. I don't know what's going on in Florida. Does CISPA apply to F4 category? It does in a more limited circumstances, but it does. Wife told officer their marriage is not real at the interview. Marriage is real. What to do now? You got to be able to document it. Do you know what year they're working on the interview? So where it is? No, I don't. Probably like a year and a half back. Is K3 visa still available? It's still available to submit, but it never actually gets there. How long for 601? 2 to 4 years. It's crazy. What if I want to marry girlfriend and fix her papers? She lives in America. I mean, you only want to marry girlfriend because you want to be married. So I can't help people who just want to fix papers. ETA advanced parole documents, 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 year. How long does it take to get the case decision for green card renewal? 1 year, 2 year, 4 years. So Imran follows up. Sorry, I mean, how long TAC IA24 processing time for sibling? I don't know. IA24 could be 3 months, could be a year and a half. If he says, does USCIS tell you as the next step after I-130 is reviewed? Yeah, they either send you an RFE, they deny it, no, they deny or they approve it, but they'll communicate with you. Just make sure you keep your address updated. Okay, let's answer a couple more questions. In your opinion, is DACA ever going to have pathway to citizenship? My opinion doesn't matter. It's really politics, so but I don't talk about things that don't matter. My opinion on this has no bearing on what's going to happen. Parents late visa interview. Why? I'm not sure what that means. Late visa interview. How long is punishment for entering illegally 2 times to the U.S. boyfriend's Mexico? It depends on how long he stayed on the first trip or if he was caught. So it depends on the length of stay here. But potentially it could be what's called a permanent bar, which means a minimum of 10 years outside the United States before you can apply for forgiveness to come back in. Can I file for green card for parents? The min I file for citizenship? Yeah, you can start the process. Yeah, just get the certificate. If I overstay because of high-risk pregnancy, want visa revoked? Yeah, if you overstay, your visa is automatically revoked. You need to file an I-539 extension to hold you over. K1 from Morocco. Okay, we've done that before. Just schedule a consultation office. Would an expedite request be better through a lawyer, senator, or congressperson? No, not necessarily. What helps with a lawyer is that you don't say something that's going to be problematic. People don't know what to say. They'll say some crazy stuff that's problematic. But that's that. Rachel, it's getting too much individual guidance. I don't know. This petitioner is still considered a sponsor. Mala says, so you're saying I don't need to tell USCIS that I'm a citizen, upgrade my other green card citizenship. You don't want to upgrade in a lot of cases an F2A case or F2B case to a citizenship case because it's going to take longer unless a child is married. Then you want to. So Mala give individual cases, but there's sometimes you don't want to. You tell them. It gets all complicated. So this is too case specific. I don't want to tell you what to do because you might make a mistake and be problematic. So we'd have to schedule a private consultation. Omar says, I'm a student visa holder, don't want to leave, what to do? Well, you got to figure out a way to stay here. That's what you got to do. Jonah says, is it possible to apply for a green card if my partner is a green card while I'm here in the States? Maybe if you have status. Let me mute somebody. Okay. Should I report my wife because she cheated on me? I don't know. That's up to you what you want to do. After you get H1 visa, how can you get a green card? All the same options before. H1 has no barrier in getting that. Mom says, how can I schedule a consultation? Email the office. My email is info@jqqlaw.com and tell me briefly what your case is about. And myself or my associates can have a consultation. There are fees associated with the consultation, but email us will tell you what that is. Is it possible to apply for a green card? My partner is a green card holder here in the States and stay. Maybe, I don't know. How much is a consultation at your firm? Anywhere from $200 to $325 to be an attorney with in the topic. My son, already 6 years, can apply for my son's student visa in USA. You don't apply for anyone's student visa. They apply for their own, but since you have a sound case here, they may deny it. Why is perm taking so long these days? Because the government sucks. So that's really why. Oscar says family applied I-130 8 years ago. Is there a backlog? It depends on what kind of case you have. There's a backlog. Of course, there's a backlog. Can international students send money to their home country? Or it depends on which country. If it's Iran, no. I mean, you may be able to get a waiver of sanctions stuff. But Andrea says, what if someone crosses the second time? What happens if I process? I don't know. I have to see more information. What does a new bill? I don't go into bills. They're worthless. Then nothing ever happens in these bills. Can I apply for my husband? I'm a third myself. You could do whatever you like to do. My car was 18 months, then 14 months, then 10 months, then 4 months, now it's 2 weeks. Okay. But take questions on Instagram. Mala, you got to schedule a private consultation to go over it. Simon says, after rejection of I-130 due to G1450, okay to refile again by online. I can't give case-specific advice. If you do everything correctly, yeah, that's okay. But I don't know all the stuff in file. I can't tell you to do something I don't know anything about. Is it allowed to change from a visitor visa work permit? In some cases, yeah. How to reinstate green card for abandoning for 2 years of health? That's too case specific. When will EB1 for India get current? I don't know. It's not up to me. So come on, guys, give me 1 or 2 good questions. A lot of these questions are pretty bad. I gotta be honest. but come on, some good questions that we can answer. Go. We got 2 more. Okay. So no good questions. Come on. Okay, because I have a question. Please throw a good question. We got 2 good questions and we'll call it a day. How much my consultation fee? Myself is $325. Nana, it's not a good question. Can I bring a child? Ghana? Maybe, it depends. Come on. My 3's from 18 months. Can I bring my adopted child? How long does it take? How do you have another language? No. Come on, good questions, please. How can I file my husband if I join the army and he crossed the second time? It depends on what the violation was the second time. Joining the army itself wants to be helpful if they're subject to a permanent bar. Do they check for credit score? Not right now. I mean, they do potentially to see if there's issues, but it usually is not a problem for almost all cases. One more question. What cases can I'm on a visit. How can I meet you? Well, it doesn't matter if visiting or not. We do our meetings on video, so that's that. Come on, I want to have 1 good answer that's like I can get into. Can I put a clause on my husband's visa that he can't sponsor his family? That's pretty funny. You have no control over that one. Okay. Sorry, we're not getting any questions I can really answer. Do you do H-2B visa applications? It depends on if you have a good employer and stuff. Email the office. We now know the facts to see whether they'll accept a case. After my I-360 is approved as my adjustment of status immediate, I was married to a U.S. citizen. You still have to file for adjustment of status. I-360 is a separate thing. Okay, 1 more question I'll answer is come on. Good question. I-94 date or final NIV date, which one if legal? I-94 date is the time you have here. Then again, the NIV date on your visa is not how long you stay here. It all goes by the I-94, either electronic I-94 or if you filed for extension or change of status in the United States, whatever the I-94 notice they sent you has on their timeline. So it's not going to make a lot of sense for people, but if you know, you know. All right, Red, thank you so much. I look at my phone so much, I'm looking down the entire YouTube video. People see the top of my head. It's not a good look for video, but it is what it is. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm Immigration Lawyer John Pastravi. If you want to schedule a private consultation, just email us at info@jqqlaw.com and take from there. Till next one, God bless, be safe. Have a good one.